very important topic, which is a global emergency, if it is not an emergency. And I must thank the previous speaker, Dr. Jacob. That was wonderful. You really summarized my talk in different ways with all the evidences in there. AMR and microbial resistance. It is an urgency. It is not only a global health problem, but if you realize it's a security and it's a social economic danger. If I'm to cite, if they have to tell you that one of you here, God forbid, has MDR TB, even if they tell you that this person has been on their treatment maybe for 3 or 1 month, they assure you that they are not infectious, who of you would associate with that fella? A very big issue. Security-wise, every now and then, people are coming up with different tactics in combating their so-called enemies. Should this resistant bug fall into the hands of a weird fella, I'm telling you, we won't settle. Because what a terrorist likes is causing trouble, whether you're innocent or you a culprit. For them, they don't mind so long as their objective is achieved. Economic-wise, let us cite an example still of MDR-TB. Do you know the cost of treating MDR-TB? The minimum cost, assuming it's just OPD, a minimum of close to 3 million. If you're picking just your drugs and going home, should you get admitted, that cost tends to escalate to close to $8,000 US. Those who are ever getting in dollars, convert that, multiply by 3,800 and tell us the amount of money. It's a lot of money. So social, health-wise, security-wise, it is really a very big problem. To add on that, just to echoes, maybe just to echo what Jacob was saying, it really and microbial resistance dampens the progress that we have had in modern medicine. Do you know that when someone is resistant to almost everything, what you're left with is conservative management? And that's if you lack the patient to stay with you. But at the end of it, they will resort to witch doctors. People have failed. The Basawas have failed. And it is true, simple surgeries become a danger. Because you can't do an I&D. When you do an I&D, you're supposed to give antibiotics. When you do a cahanuraph, at least you may give some prophylactic antibiotic and leave it, right? But you're exposing, assuming there is resistance, a resistant bug in that theater. The moment a patient moves in, they're coming out with a very resistant bug. It becomes even very hard to go for minor procedures. I attest to this. One time they swabbed one of the theaters that I won't mention, but the bugs they found there, very resistant, everything. So in such a scenario, it becomes very hard even to go for elective surgeries. What are the drivers of this? The biggest driver, ignorance / knowledge gaps. You don't know. You're not acquainted with the protocols of treatment of treating community-acquired pneumonia, but because someone is having a pneumonia, you're starting with PISA. Follow the protocols. Follow the UCB. Now, if you start with PISA, if things are failing, where will you? What will you resort to? Will you go back to chloramphenicol? So ignorance. 2, lack of regulations, especially in private. I'm not surprised by the data
you provided regarding these health centers, some of these private clinics. And this is evidenced recently by one of the quacks who was he giving kefrazone and sulbactam to every baby born by spontaneous whatever? I hear you give sulbactam. Did you watch that story, that cell exposing patients to all sorts of antimicrobial resistance? But that quacks alone, even people who we think that are actually educated, they're doing such practices, unnecessarily giving antibiotics where they're not meant to be given. The lack of regulation. If you're working in a health center, but there is no protocol on the use of antibiotics, advocate, if they are not taking it in, please leave or inform anybody to do something. In any health facility, you should have the so-called aware classification. You should have antibiotics which can be accessed. You should have molecules which should be there for access. Then you should have watch molecules and you should have reserve molecule. Now a reserve molecule, not everyone and not everyone has access to it. It's just special cases that are meant to receive such an antibiotic. Look, I recall 10 or 15 years back, kefrazone was the thing. Nowadays, a patient comes here, but even from a tiny facility, they are given safe. The slide the presenter was giving, I kept asking, why is this patient resistant to amikacin? Probably they have been given Jeta. Everyone has Brucella and they are giving Jeta. People are getting ototoxicity and all sorts of things. But now we have moved away from kidney issues and ototoxicity. Now it is antimicrobial resistance. To me, it is a nuclear bomb. If you have asked me about antimicrobial resistance. So, what things should we do? I'm glad that you have a system. We need surveillance, and these should be well funded. The university should fund. MOH should fund such activities. We need routine surveillance, we need trends, we need to work together with microbiologists. Honestly speaking, every medicine and therapeutic committees, if the